Who am I?
Hi guys, welcome to Ben from the Bunker. I'm Ben Miller.
Who?
Like I said, my name is Ben Miller. I'm the editor-in-chief of Guerrilla Publishing. We're a small publisher that focuses mostly on graphic novels and comics. We have 3 partners and 3 co-founders. It's me, Julio Guerra, and Adam Farster. And so I decided to do this channel to kind of talk to people more about indie comics. In this first video, I'm going to kind of tell you my journey into indie comics. The first thing that I need to start with is how my journey into comics has started. I did not grow up reading comics. Part of it was just, I think money that we didn't have to buy things like that. And another thing was, more strict religious upbringing for how I grew up. I didn't really discover comics till I was in college, and I had known, like, obviously I knew Batman, Superman, all that stuff from animated series to things like that. But then a guy on my floor in college in my dorm gave me a copy of The Watchmen to read, and then that kind of sparked my interest in reading comics.
Rorschach's Journal, October 12th, 1985. Tonight, a comedian died in New York.
So I soon became a fan of reading graphic novels, and then also of the floppies, and started going to a weekly comic book shop, and got involved in reading comics, but did not for quite a while think about writing comics, even though I had done some writing, just on my own and things like that. We didn't have creative writing in high school, or didn't really take much in college either. So from there, I had kind of been thinking about doing a comic book, and I'm like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? And I actually was not long after my daughter was born, and she was really small, and I was holding her. I was actually listening to a Kevin Smith podcast, and it was kind of from there that I got the inspiration to go ahead and move forward and try to do this thing of writing a comic.
To tell people it's worth the shot. Just like Wayne Gretzky said, like, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
From there, I kind of went on to figure out how to make a comic, what it entails, what you need to do, and I didn't have any funds really to start off. So I was lucky enough to enter a competition and win a contest to get my graphic novel published. Unfortunately, that company went out of business promptly after I won the competition. They did give me enough money to make my very first issue, Judges, issue number 1, which I did with Corey Hampshire. Corey is a veteran in the business, has been working for Marvel for a long time. Happened to know him because he's local to where I live. And he really helped me and walked me through a lot of the process of what it means to make a comic, how things get done, introduced me to colorist letters, things like that. So for that, I'm very grateful to him and that. And from there on, I eventually finished it. We made it into a graphic novel, the first 4 issues. And it was left open in case I decide to do more. But at that point, it was really a grind and a struggle to kind of keep moving forward. And, like at that point, I was still submitting to companies and say, oh, please publish my stuff, please publish my stuff, please publish my stuff. Some companies would say, like most of the time you don't get any response. Some would say, well, we don't really, you don't really have a name, you don't have that big of a social media presence, or even some are like, oh, you already published it, self-published it, so we're not interested. So there was a whole host of things, and really getting dejected. And it was at that point, I had met through our local convention here and our local drink and draws, Julio and Adam, and they were kind of going through similar things. And we kind of just decided, it's funny, we went to a wrestling show, me and Julio. Ring of Honor was right about the same time that Cody and the Young Bucks, for those of you who understand wrestling, those who don't, just not for the next 30 seconds, were saying that they were going to start their own company and they were tired of dealing with the corporate, kind of BS and stuff like that. And so we were kind of like, yeah, we could do that too. And that's kind of how Guerrilla Publishing was formed. And so then from there, we started publishing our own books. getting some of our own stuff out. Before that, Julio and I had worked together actually on a thing we called Botch that we had just worked together. It was a fun one-shot comic that we did. But then we, started working more as a team and working together to get stuff out. I published my graphic novel, Kanisha. I published my other graphic novel, Gunwork. And so we've been moving along, and then we finally kind of did a project all together called Tales from the Crypt Closet, and it was so successful that we actually did volume 2 that's not out yet. I can't show you the book or whatever. But that's kind of how I got to where I am. Publishing several graphic novels, publishing, having written in other things. There's another book that I written in that I don't think I can talk about yet. I worked for Hire Job, and some stuff like that. So we've gotten other work in the industry, but we really wanted to focus on creating ourselves. Julio has done the Epic Misadventures of Deathbag, which is what this shirt is from, if you're wondering. He also did a sketchbook. Adam is done Humalian, and now he's working on Dark Echo. So we're trying to create, just like a lot of you are, but we found each other in kind of a way to do that. So that's who I am. That's what I'm going to be talking about on this channel, on Facebook Live as well, if you're on Facebook as well. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy these videos. And we, hope to hear from you soon. And as always, support your local comic book shop and keep reading indie comics.